trying to finish one thing to get to the next thing. And then people were late. Are we live? Everybody say "Le wonderful." Now you can all speak French. I love it here in Overcomers. Okay, so I've become somewhat professional at trusting God for miracles and breakthroughs. If I know Madalisha's in a meeting with Mandy, but I think Yeliska can tell you we have immediate needs, and then there's like no money in the bank account, and then hours later, miracles happen. Have you noticed that, Yeliska? I don't know how savvy you are, but people make requests, and then there's zero, and then I'm able to manifest things almost instantaneously. I'm learning how to manifest bigger things, but God is so good. You know, I'm busy with a presentation to try and get 5 million a year. Yeah, Yaku, let's do it, man. For our schools project. And in doing the presentation, I realized that, our last financial year, we did more than that as a ministry. Now, that sounds like a heck of a lot because it is. But we do a lot, and how we draw it, what I utilize to do it is I exist in a realm of gratitude and honor. I quantify everything in those two mathematical equations. If the people I'm dealing with don't operate in gratitude and honor, then I've got to get as far away from them as possible, unless they're willing to sit and learn gratitude and honor from me or from someone in our organization. So I'm going to explain that nicely as quickly as I can. I want to get you guys out of this hot box, although hot box is dacha. Eh? This is literally a hot box. It's a box with heat in it. Anyway, so gratitude is probably the lekker word in Afrikaans, teenoorgestelde, the opposite. Is there a stronger word than opposite? Like when I say opposite, I mean an opposing force, a force that fights against it, you know what I mean? So gratitude is the opposing force. It wages war against the spirit of entitlement. So entitlement itself goes to war against gratitude, and gratitude itself goes to war against entitlement, because entitlement inside of you is a part of you that says, I deserve more. Because I have to go to war with that thing inside of me often, because it's part of our natural makeup. Our self-preservation instinct says, I deserve more. Who knows what I'm talking about? It's like you'll be working hard, and then you'll say, you'll feel, I deserve more recognition, I deserve more honor, I deserve more money, I deserve more. You'll feel like I'm 40 years old, I'm 50 years old, whatever, or 30 years old, I've worked hard, I deserve more. It's a natural feeling. Who's been through that in your life? Has anybody been through that? It's like where you feel your hard work is not recognized, your labor is not recognized. I deserve more. That is the exact opposite of the spirit of gratitude. The spirit of gratitude says, I have more than enough. The spirit of gratitude versus the spirit of entitlement is the spirit of gratitude walks onto a battlefield and doesn't look for armor and swords, it looks for what's in its hand. David had 5 stones, and that was enough. He was grateful for them, and he was able to use them. If you aren't grateful for things, you will not be able to use them. To utilize stuff, you need to operate in gratitude. You need to be grateful for the people around you, the people in your organization, the people in your life. Because when you feel that you deserve more money, you deserve more resources in your department, you deserve more, you'll be unable to multiply what's in your hand because you're waiting for something that will never come. Because deserve's got nothing to do with it. And I want you to say that out loud. Deserve's got nothing to do with it. There's actually a Clint Eastwood movie. That was in Unforgiven. One of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies is called The Outlaw Josie Wales. But there's another Clint Eastwood movie called Unforgiven. It's got Gene Hackman and all that kind of thing. And I think it's at the end there, Gene Hackman says, "I don't deserve this, I'm building a house," and then Clint Eastwood shoots him and says, "Deserve's got nothing to do with it." Shoots him with a shotgun in the face or a rifle. But anyway, too much information. But if you understand that we don't get what we deserve, if we did, we'd all go to hell. So don't think in terms of deserve, because there's a perspective of deserve. When we think in terms of what we deserve, we're going to utilize that through the lens of our own entitlement. And that robs you of power, because when you feel you deserve and you don't have what you feel you deserve, you're going to immediately look around for someone to blame for not giving you what you feel you deserve. And the moment you blame, your power is gone. I sit with people often. Jingus, time flies around you. But anyway, pretty recently I was on a Zoom call and I was speaking to a lot of it was a Mighty Men's thing, but it's like Angus Buchan's Mighty Men's thing. There were a lot of farmers there. And I was speaking to all these farmers, and I said, because the subject was forgiveness and how to move forward, and and that was the kind of general thing that they asked me to speak about. And I said, well, the mere fact that you need to forgive shows how weak you are in character. Because if it's a necessity, it's an indication of where you are in your growth. And so I try to not need to forgive people because I want to sort the thing out right now, because if I don't sort it out immediately, I'm giving away my power, because in hating someone, in being angry at someone, I'm giving my power to them, I'm blaming them. I feel that overcomers really should be a lot further along than we are with the resources that we've pumped in and the people that we have. As a strategist, I feel that. But as a person, I've got to separate myself from myself. I've got to separate myself from the inner strategist. Because I know that many of the people we pay to do a job sleep. Do as little as possible. Many of you are getting salaries and you wish you were getting 10 times that salary. I'm one of them. Anybody else want 10 times what you're currently earning? Huh? And you're crazy to say no. You can do a lot of stuff with money, But if you want that thing to multiply, you have to look at what's in your hand and steward what's in your hand first. So you got, let's say Courtney, she's a horticulturist, and Uncle Dick, farmer. You buy them seeds, they turn those seeds into a harvest. That's their job. They do lots and lots of other things in the ministry, but really their job on earth is that they're able to, by passion, turn a seed into more seeds. Now, if you sit in a department and you say, man, this thing would be bigger and better if I had this, if I had that, if I had this. The top award-winning music producers in the world use the cheapest software because they, I think Lucky mentioned it today, Fruity Loops. Where's Lucky? Are you here? Hey, Lucky, Fruity Loops. So that guy told you about Johan de Kock. He uses Cubase now, but back in the day, we were producing our songs and stuff on Fruity Loops and then doing our vocals in Cubase. But Fruity Loops, that he had like this ripped off version. He was working on a computer that was so slow, this old laptop, that if you plugged it out, it died immediately. And he was producing music on that Fruity Loops program. I mean, just the name Fruity Loops, And then I met other guys who had full studios, $1 million studios, who haven't released one song. They're always just waiting for this other piece of gear. Anybody meet people like that? Just waiting for that something else. So you lack gratitude, it's because entitlement has, like a cancer, crept into your life and you don't even realize it, robbed you of the ability, the chance to multiply what God puts in your hand. So, so if you desire to be in a position where you've got a ministry that's doing well, you've got much bigger salary, you've got all those things, you have to look at what's in your hand, what's in your department, what is in front of you, what computer's in front of you, what is it, and be spectacular, far beyond what you're being paid for, because your salary catches up with your ability. Now, people don't believe that because they say, that's not true. I've been working for companies for 10 years and that never happened. Either that company will steward you, look after you, or someone else will headhunt you. But the rules of this world cause, it's like gravity, it's a natural law. Whatever you steward, whatever you look after, you will multiply. But whenever you have excuses, you will lose what you have. And that's where honor comes in. When you honor what God has put in your life, you will be grateful for it. And when you honor who God has put in your life, you'll be grateful for them. And you will multiply all the wonderful things within them. You'll multiply all the wonderful things that God has put into your life, because that is what gratitude does. It causes you to look after things better. So I've been married for 24 years, and the first 17 years or so weren't very easy for me, because I married a perfectionist who used to speak her mind with particular tone and would never cheat on me, so I could never divorce her. So I realized I'm stuck. And I went to someone for counseling, and I said, listen, I don't know what to do. It's really hard for me to be married. I don't know if I'm just bad at being married. I don't know what to do. And the guy said, I'll tell you what to do. Stop whining and be a man. He didn't even tell me what that means. He actually said, none of us are in happy marriages. Stop whining and be a man. So I said, that's an unacceptable answer to me. The Holy Spirit tell me what to do. And he said, be grateful for her. And I was like, well, okay. Let me just focus on the things I'm grateful for and love covers a multitude of sins. So I'm going to pretend the tone of voice doesn't exist. I'm going to pretend that like I used to, as lovingly as I could, train my wife. And this may be something that ladies, this is free today. Because ladies are really good prosecutors in general. Where were you? What were you doing? What time were you doing it? Why were you doing that? So the whip produces better liars. Yeah. So most men end up having to lie because they get forced into a corner. And when you're in a corner, you don't care what put you in the corner. All you care about is getting out of the corner. So you'll lie to get out of that corner. That's why torture and interrogation rarely work. Like torture and intimidation and stuff. It's proven that stuff rarely works because you can't tell whether or not the prisoner is telling the truth, or they're just trying to not get tortured anymore and not be in that box anymore. So they found psychologically that the best way to get someone to speak the truth is to let them do all the talking. You just let them jabber on and 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 on. So the best CIA interrogation techniques is when they capture the dudes, they put them in somewhat comfortable rooms and they apologize, say, sorry man, you're innocent until proven guilty and we'd like to hear your side of the story. And then they let those people speak. And they found that the kinder they are to those people, the quicker they expose themselves. A few months and you've got, like, that guy's outlined all of Al-Qaeda's tactics top to bottom because he's never been treated so well in his life. So when you're grateful for someone, you're going to throw your very best at them. You're going to behave your very best. But when you're ungrateful, you're going to have a spirit of entitlement. You're going to demand things from them, and without realizing it, you're going to put them in a corner, and they're going to hate you. They're going to hate the corner. They're going to hate you. When you don't look after what God has put in your hand, so let's say, we're blessed. In the ministry, we got a lot of cool stuff, especially for Paris. Anybody noticed that? Who's lived in Paris for a while? We got nice gear, We got nice gear and trucks and all that kind of thing. And, the media department's now got access to some cinematic cameras, which I'm happy about. I want to buy 2 of those awesome things. What is it called again? It's the DJI Cinema 4D. They're like 160,000 Rand each. Fantastic. And we can make lekker movies and music videos, and it's easy. You just walk with that thing. Want to do that, but what we've got in our hands, we can work with right now. We can work with what we have. And the way to get those things is to work with what we have, to be brilliant with what we have, to try and figure out how can we take down the Goliaths in our life right now with what's in our hands right now. And we do that by being grateful for what is in our hands and who's in our hands. That is why I can weather just about any storm, staff-wise. But when people exhibit a sense of entitlement, I realize I can't help them, and I don't want to fight for them, because they're going to exhaust me, they're going to exhaust everybody around them, and they're going to produce a spirit of dishonor. It's like a group of people during the crusade came to me, and they were concerned about how they were only getting sandwiches or something, and they were only getting this, and they were, and they weren't getting that, and they weren't getting, why do those people get more than we do? And then I sat there listening, and I understood where they came from, but the fight for them in me went out. The desire to help went out, because I'm like, no matter where else you go, especially in this region, you won't be looked after like we look after you. So if we look after you the best we can, treat you as well as we can, and all you can think of is what you deserve above what we're doing for you, and you do it disrespectfully as well, you have not stewarded what's in your hand, and you have especially not stewarded the authority above you. As many of you sitting here with potential to achieve incredible things, to do incredible things, how many of you sitting here can feel it? Inside of you, there's more. You know what I'm talking about? There's like more. There's more. And a lot of you can feel with this vision, we're going to more. And many of you are here on your way to more, which is also perfect. And some of you can feel that. You're just here for a season. You're getting skills and a mindset so that God can utilize you where He wants you in the future. But some of you know, okay, this is the place where you can achieve more here, because this vision itself is going to more. But not everybody is here to experience that more, because you're on your way to a different more. But all of us can feel inside of us there's more. Can feel it. To get there, Goliath is on that field, and on the other side of Goliath is all the Philistines. In front of Goliath is the lion and the bear. David first had to take down the lion and the bear in protecting the sheep as a shepherd, and then he could take down Goliath as a shepherd protecting Israel, because that's the role of a shepherd. A shepherd is a protector. And then he could take down the Philistines next. When he took down Goliath, and he only needed what was in his hand, and he always used what was in his hand, that sling, to take down the lion, the bear, and Goliath. So you have to ask the question consistently, who is in my life that God has put in my life? Who are these stones, and what are these stones? What simple thing do I have that I can use to take down my Goliath right now? The more focused and wise and impressive you are with what you have, the quicker that thing multiplies. Someone had a conversation with me and said, listen, I've been working with this ministry for 6 years or 7 years before you even got to the land, 8 years, whatever. And, I feel that my rank is not recognized. So my response is, by the way you're speaking and by the fruit in your life, you've been in this ministry 1 year, 6 or 7 times. Because if you truly knew how to apply what you're being taught here, you'd be leading. It's like someone complained, how come Gunther and Charisse get their own service? Because they've been here 3 or 4 years the whole time, learning and growing, doing what exactly. If I ask X, Y, Z, they don't flinch. They trust my input into their life. They don't fight with me and go on social media and type things where I don't see my name, but I know it's me. I mean, you think people are stupid. Who's noticed that with social media? It's like people type things and you don't see your name, but you know it's you they're talking about. I know you're talking about me. I mean, literally nobody else on the planet is your boss at work. Certain bosses. I mean, last year, like 2 or 3 people were like certain, bosses. And I'm like, I said that exact thing. I'm like, well, okay, let me see how they grow. Because I don't really care what you say about me. It's you sabotaging you. I'm fine. But that's the problem with the spirit of entitlement. When you always feel like you deserve more, and you're consistently demanding more, people around you feel like they can't measure up to your spirit of entitlement. They feel like they cannot measure up to what you're demanding. So be honest. Who's had people in your We fancy now with our generator, So we just have to figure out how to have a smoother switch over in general. Okay, are we still live? Praise Hallelujah. So who here has had people in your life where you feel like you just can't please this person? And you just go, I just can't. Now that's what the lack of gratitude does. It has that effect on people where people will just feel about you, I just can't. Now you can put it on quickly. Yeah, I don't want you guys to die. Yeah, quickly, Jacob, before you die. They're just putting on the Econators, the big boys. I don't know, anybody learning something? Okay, 2 of you, I'm glad. You getting this? It's like, we're busy with big pictures and big requests and, all that kind of thing. And often you get these shadow audits. Now, it's not just a financial audit. It's also people come here and ask, wow, this place is nice. Do you mind showing me around? Often they've been sent by a major sponsor. And they'll come here in a cheapish car, and they will look around. And they'll see, what does the kitchen look like? Do you really feed the amount of people that you do? Or is it truly what they say on the internet, how these people honor each other and are kind to each other and are awesome to each other? Is it truly like that? I see you got that fan all to yourself. So funny. They come and they have a look. Because everybody is interested. The people who want to bless you, before they give you a bag of stones, they want to see, what are you doing with those 5 stones? It's like we had a major sponsor go up to the media department the other day. Were you guys there? Did you see him? The media department, were you there? Did you see the guy going there? It was this week, yeah. Eh? Did you notice? So, he stuck his head in quickly. Multi-millionaire. Didn't you guys see? Eh? What did he do? Did he just come in? I only saw him at the top of the ramp there. Did he go in? Eh? Oh, he was looking for me. He wasn't looking for me. I was standing in the garage. He was looking for you. He was looking at what you're doing. We don't realize how many times people are watching us who have the power to change our lives. You know, the guy says, why are all the screens facing the walls? Are they watching porn? That's what he asked me. Are they hiding their work? That's what he asked me. He says, why are all your screens in there? Why is everybody in a corner? Why can't you see their screens? So I never noticed that before. Says, no, man, no one's doing any work up there. I was like, whoa. I said, no, I see the product. He says, you see 10% of the product. So we're going to have to change it around a bit. That's what he asked me. Why are all the screens facing the walls? What's that? They're all looking at porn up there. I'm like, I don't think they're looking at porn. But there's people watching you the whole time to see what you're doing with the 5 stones. You know? The whole time. Well, you don't even realize it. There's people who walk through your life who look at you. So I know we got some single ladies here, so every now and then I bring some really cool single men that you don't realize. Check it, Matthew. Yeah, I'm working on bringing some American ladies for you, Matthew. But, you know, then I bring some of the dudes, and they say, yes, why does every woman there look like they're depressed? I'm like, they just work hard. Nobody is depressed. That's like the consensus. So do you run an anti-depression clinic there? So, okay, we're going to have to work on our women's ministry. Yeah. They come in and they always ask me that, why are the women depressed? I'm like, no, they're just working hard. Nobody's depressed. So oh, wow, thank you. So a while back, yeah, and you even opened it properly for me, thank you. This blooming thing. So, you know, so this lady got very upset at me because I brought her someone that she really liked to the ministry, yeah? And she didn't realize it, but he was sitting at the table and he said about her, you know, she used to be in this ministry, she's not anymore. And he said about her, he said, listen, I feel that she's got a temper, and I think if you irritate her a little bit, she'll dishonor you. She says, calls me Pastor Andrew. Pastor Andrew, you are too nice because you don't test your people enough. He says, do this. Just bump her chair when you walk past and see her response to you. So he's sitting there now, and he's asked me to walk past and just bump her chair. We were still in the tent over there. Were you there for that one, Mavis? Now, I tell you what, now I'm thinking these two will make a cute couple, but he says, she looks to me like she's got a bad temper and she will dishonor you. And if she dishonors you as the leader of that ministry, off he goes, then I don't stand a chance as her husband. So I said, no, man, watch this. So I walk past and I go, dunk on her chair, and she turns around. What do you think you're doing? I'm like, I said, I'm sorry. She says, well, just don't do it again. And she didn't realize that it was that guy who she liked so much who asked me to test her for him with a little bump of my bum. This bum took away her dream man. That's all I did. I went like that in the back of a chair. Boom shakalaka. There's always somebody watching you. That's why I say aspire to your higher self. Don't be yourself. Being myself is the worst possible idea. I'm a horrible person. Where's Jared? Is he here today? So it's like Jared says, because I say, yes, like, I'm impatient and I don't like my temper. And then Jared says, I don't know who saw that post, and he says, what, you don't have a temper, you're one of the most patient people I know. Like that, then you must know a lot of impatient people. Because the part about me that I hate the most is, a lot of you have seen me when I lose my temper or get upset about something. It's pretty entertaining, eh? Yes, like, I wish I didn't do that. I don't know why I do that. Like, I hate it. That's not my higher self. Yeah. Yeah, you were there when yes, like I was in the kitchen over there. I asked the band not to play certain things or sing certain things in town. That day, I organized people from Potchefstroom and Sasolburg. They come all the way through from Potch and Sasolburg. They even have lunch in Paris to be part of the outreach that day. Yes, when was that? A few months back. So first thing that happens, they phone me. They say, listen, it's 2 o'clock. There's nobody here. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what do you mean there's nobody there? Huh? Huh? Was it the previous holiday, previous school holiday? So, like, there's nobody there. There's no sound. There's just 1 or 2 guys over there. Now, the worst thing for me, when the whistle started going on top of my head, was there's no staff anywhere. The staff are in town at the outreach. The bus is gone. Trailer's gone. Sound is gone. So where is everybody? Because now I've got these ministries that have come to see our band play and see the outreach. There's no pastors there, nothing. Everyone's probably getting a cool drink or that kind of thing. Supposed to start at 2 o'clock. That's what everybody said. That's what everybody agreed. So I organized accordingly. So now I'm already like, where's everybody? Now I'm starting to like have that little oh no feeling. Then they say, listen, like this is exact words from that pastor. He says, listen, don't stuff us around. We're leaving. Tells me that. That's the last thing that pastor's ever said to me. And don't tell me that he failed, he's rude. We were rude. Because we messed him around. He planned his entire day. He organized his entire day to get those people to come all the way from Sasolburg and Potchefstroom. He has not spoken to me since. He doesn't take calls. He doesn't answer things because I made a fool of him. He vouched for our ministry. So I haven't spoken about it because I'm only calm enough to talk about it now. So it's been about, 6 months? Something like that. So then I'm like in shock, right? Now I'm trying to track down the band and I have a meeting in between. And then the band finally starts playing over there. And someone goes live. And it's on that side. After I've been asking for none of that for years. Is that an accurate representation? My poor dad standing in the kitchen with me. There's an expression in Afrikaans, die tor val van die doppie af. So, if you know how my brain works, there's an upside down little beer bottle cap. I've got like a water level, and there's an upside down little beer bottle cap, and on top of that there's a little dung beetle. And he swims around, and if he wants me to do something, he pulls one of my hairs. He says, go left, go right, smile at Yaku. You know, right now he's pulling the smile hair. So he's on a little bottle cap, you know, sitting on there, and he's splashing, and he pulls. So what happened to me there was he was trying to control me, and he was pulling so many hairs that he just fell off the bottle cap and started drowning and splashing around frantically and grabbing everything. So this is me. And in my little red kitchen, I hammer that poor tabletop back. Bonga, were you there? Where's Bongani HR? Remember I come in there, fire everybody! Now go there into the admin. What is going on? Where is it? What is going on? I'm asking Jeanette and them, what does 2 o'clock mean? What does 2 o'clock mean? And Jeanette's 2 o'clock. She always says, 2 o'clock, sir. It means 2 o'clock. So maybe I must make you the boss of this place. I'll fire everybody. And I was busy with like a fundraising thing specifically for our band, all that kind of thing. I was so upset that I phoned the sponsor and said, please, just forget everything I asked you about our band. And our pastors. That day was so bad for me, I nearly shut down the entire ministry. How many of you would have shut down the entire ministry if you went through something like that? That's crazy. I mean, a lot of you thinking, I was there and I don't remember any of this. We got there, and we set up the sound. And I mean, the music didn't sound that bad to me, And I mean, we have to sing different languages because most of the people in town are Sotho. And I'm like, yes, but we are trying to get international people here to help us. Did you see the impact that those 8 Americans had while they were here? Who felt it? Because, when people come from like the United States of America, those people honor effortlessly. They've got a spirit that we want. They are prosperous effortlessly. There's no real poverty there. It's like we need what they've got. And arrogance says, I don't need any. Remember the day I said, if we had the answers, we would already have wiped out poverty. Remember the day I was sharing that? And then 1 or 2 people came up here and said, actually, it's just that some people have had more opportunities than others. They grab the mic, and I'm like, you will die a wannabe. Because you don't know how to honor what's on other people. You don't know how to be grateful for what's on other people because we feel entitled. We've got these demands within ourselves. Now, I'm not sharing this because I think you're all entitled. I'm sharing this because we all suffer with that affliction, where we've got to wage war on our sense of entitlement. You've got to shut it down so that you can operate in gratitude. I enjoy that about Pastor Bongani is those Americans came, and him and Pastor Mashlaku were on them and serving and loving and, like, really, I mean, all of you were serving well, but I'm saying in general, that's how they are, those two. I know every now and then they go on a mission trip. But that doesn't matter to me. Hey, Dan, how do you like my new code word? It's cool, eh? Going on a mission trip. Yeah, because I used to go on different kinds of mission trips. We all got things that we fight. And then people come to me and say, these people, this, that. And I'm like thinking, at least they don't come and dishonor you in my ears. See, when you're full of honor, when you're driven by honor, when you're excited about honor itself, I checked how our armor bearers were running out of fuel towards the end there. When the Americans, when it's time to go, there's like less and less people serving, less and less, and I was like, well, you guys did well on the sprint, but on the long distance run, that's where you got to learn how to have stamina. On that long distance honor run, but you guys did very, very well. I mean, who watched their report, their church service report? Did you see how they said it's the most honored they've ever felt, most loved they've ever felt and looked after? And I was like, yes. Okay, let's all say it together. Yes. That's we must always do that when people are so shocked at how well we serve and love and how grateful we are. Like when this ministry, if you want to see this ministry explode, and then as a consequence, your own life will get better and better and better. I've served companies and businesses, and then in the beginning, we all like sickle for like 3 years. Everyone's sick, and then suddenly that thing does well, and then your salary like triples and quadruples, and all these newbies come in, and they're like, how come, what do you get paid? How do you drive a car like that? I bled in the beginning, and I'm still bleeding now, baby. Because a lot of people stop bleeding. They bleed in the beginning, and they think if all they needed to do was bleed in the beginning. You've got to keep bleeding. What is our blood? Money, time, energy, talent. What you're putting in consistency, it's your blood. There is no slow down. Only time you really, burnout is not produced by hard work. It's produced by hard people. Like if you work with awesome people, you never actually need a holiday, because those people, it's just fun. You feel like you never really feel like you're truly working, because they are awesome. You really enjoy being with great people. So the vast majority of people in our ministry are amazing. So I don't feel like I'm working. What burns me out is consistently having to raise money. But God's giving me supernatural strength. And Yaku and his team are growing. Kushakara, the international Yaku team. Can you feel it? Yes. Can you feel it? Yes. Can you feel it? Yes. I can see that. I'm like $10 million a week. $10 million a week. It's doable, man. I heard about a ministry that runs $10 million a week. They do a lot of operations in Africa. I was like, well, Lord, if you can do it for them, you can do it for us. That's more than a billion rand a year. $10 million is 150 million rand. 180 million rand a week that ministry operates on. It's a Nigerian church. When the money just comes in and out, in and out, in and out like crazy. They're feeding people. But you know how they start? They start by stewarding what's in their hand. That's why, like if you watched last night's leadership, I'm out of time. If you watched last night's advanced leadership training thing, now I'm going to start pushing you guys. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the things that we're doing. I want Tanya and Pastor Bongani and Mashlaku, our Sunday morning thing must be wow, And Gunther and Pastor Chris, Gunther and Sharice and Pastor Chris and whoever else is involved in the Sunday evening, make it wow. Make it like double wow with a side wow of wow. must be a production. People must come and sit here and go, wow. And they must go tell someone in the ministry, says, I went to one of your Afrikaans services. It was incredible. And we respond, yes. Right. See, that's the correct response. So the power of gratitude. See, gratitude is how you defeat entitlement, because we all struggle with it, what we deserve. And I'd love to tell you, that you're right, you do deserve those things, because you're right, you deserve those things, but deserving it doesn't produce it. Being entitled to something doesn't manifest it. Being grateful for what you have will manifest more than you can imagine. You'll have more wonderful things in your life than you can ever think or dream or imagine, because gratitude itself is the magnet. Whatever you're angry at, you're going to multiply. Whatever you're bitter about, it's going to multiply. And we all struggle with things that we're angry at and things that we're bitter about, things that we're upset about. But if you want to be exceptional, train yourself. Jesus gives each one according to his ability. If you want more of anything, increase your ability. Increase your ability, increase your ability. In Jesus' name. Amen? I'll take a question or two quickly. Anybody got questions? You're fine. You guys are too hot. You want to go outside? Okay, good. Was that a good one? Did you guys get anything out of that? Amen? I'm telling you, operate in excellence. Like, you don't think much of the Friday thing. Now, I understand this last Friday outreach, that was cancelled there. Yeah. So I'm sure there's good reasons for it. But try and do it, even if it's just one person there pushing play on a little thing. Even if it's one speaker with one person, try and be consistent. And really elevate the level of people praying. Because so far the reports that I get about our Friday outreaches are, why is everybody shouting? Why is this is too loud? And I'm like, well, I said the original idea was there's music playing and people praying and declaring wonderful things over Parais and prophetic words so that everybody feels welcome. It's not a shouting and a screaming, it's a calming of the city. It's an honoring of the city. So whether someone preaches, whether someone does an altar call, whether someone prophesies, whatever it is, in your mind is how do we honor Parais? How do we honor the city? How do we declare beautiful things over the city? Amen. Love you guys. What day is it today? Is it a Wednesday? So we still got like 10 days left this week. Nice. Yeah, knock them dead. Thank you for your hard work. Good job on how you guys handled our American guests. They loved it. You guys did excellent. And I don't share these things because I want to rebuke you. I share these things because I want to promote you. I want to inspire you. I wish for the things in my life to be in your life without the price that I paid for them. That's my desire. I wish you all had nice cars and nice houses and awesome income, or you get to a place where you don't even need income. I close my eyes when I want something, and there it is. It's incredible. Because there's a promise that Jesus made. He said, you will reap a harvest that you didn't sow. And that's my desire. But first become a good steward with what you have that's seen, and then you'll know how to be a good steward with what is unseen. And when you're a good steward with what is unseen, things just manifest in your life. Is anybody else here arrived at that point where you can just go, and then that thing arrives in your life? There's nobody yet. You can do that. Yeah, you just go. And the way I do it is I just gratitude it in. I'm just thankful for it before it's even arrived. Amen. So gratitude. Honor. Love you. Bye.